Hey Charles,
Hey Pete,
today I want to show you a little bit about how you can interact with Simcenter Testlab Neo and Excel. You interested?
definitely. That'd be super useful.
All right, well, I'm displaying a block of data here in Simcenter Testlab Neo, and if I want to put this in Excel, can you guess what I do?
I think we need to maybe copy this somehow. All the
Yeah, just
points.
right click here and I can say copy values all, for example. And then if I fire up Excel and I right click and paste, well, I got some information about this Excel file, like that it's a spectrum average and the date and time it was created, what project it's in. And then down here, I have all the data that's in that spectrum. Pretty easy to get that data directly into Excel, huh?
I'm pretty good at copy and paste, so yeah, I think like I can handle that.
Cool. Let's say you had multiple pieces of data. So I'll go up here and in Neo, I can do this little pivot table here. And you can see I got three auto powers, three spectrums. Maybe I'd like to put all of those into Excel. How would you guess I would do all three?
I think I need to have some way of selecting them all together.
Yeah, well, if I right click, there is a select all curves. So I got them all selected. They all turned black here in the legend, and these little squares appeared to indicate they're selected. Now if I right click and pick copy values all, I'll now go into Excel. Maybe I'll go to the second sheet here, right click, pick paste, and look, I got three curves already. Not too
That's,
shabby, huh?
that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
I got a question though, Pete. Maybe I'm just interested in the data around that peak, like
Yeah,
1,000
like,
to 2,000 hertz. How could I just get that?
oh, okay. Well, I think for one thing, you could double click here and you could say, hey, I want to look at 1000 hertz to 2000 hertz. And now if I select all again, right click, copy values. Instead of saying all here, I'm going to say between X limits. So if I pick between X limits and then I come over here and paste, let's see, got all three curves again, and it looks like it starts at 1000. Now that might be a little hard to read there, so I'll change the formatting of the cells here to number. So starts at 1000, Charles.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah, so easy to get the data over a narrower range. But I bet you're going to ask me something else. Sometimes you don't just want the data over a narrow range. Maybe you want to do some sort of calculation, for example. Like here, I could calculate the RMS over a subset of the data. So now I have some RMS values here, and they're going from, maybe I could make it a little rounder, 800 hertz up to, oh,
3,000.
2,500. Oh, 3,000. Okay.
My favorite number.
Yeah. So I have the RMS from 800 to 3,000. And if I want just the RMS values, not all the data values from this curve, I can right click on the legend and pick copy as table. And now if I fire up Excel here and I right click and I pick paste, I now have just those RMS values from 800 to 3,000.
Pretty
You know,
nice.
yeah, it is pretty nice. But here I also have these extra data values where the value's at 800 hertz, the value at 3000 hertz. If I really want just the RMS, there's a nice trick here in Testlab. I can right click, pick options, and then I can say, don't show me the intersections. If I hit apply, now it's not going to show that 800 and 3000 hertz, but I can also say append that 800 to 3000 to this table here. And I think that's a pretty nice way to show it. What do you think?
I think that's the best way to show it. Looks good.
Yeah. So I'll hit paste and yeah, from 800 to 3000, here are my RMS values.
Very cool.
Yeah, you don't doing that copy paste back and forth to Excel kind of time consuming. Guess what? Neo has a nice little shortcut for you. You ready to see this, Charles?
Yeah.
If I click up here and I want all three of these curves into Excel, I can actually say report to Excel and watch. I don't have to do anything. It's running Excel in the background and boom, it came up with all three curves directly in Excel for me.
Oh, that's even quicker.
Yeah, that is. And that'll work across multiple displays too. So pretty easy to get stuff into Excel.
You're just spoiling us now, Pete.
Yeah. Back here in this report that I made with the three curves, I can do file save as, and then I'll store it here in this Excel demo file,
Hmm.
hit save. And I think this is kind of an interesting thing. If I go into my computer here through the Testlab desktop, and I go into the directory where I stored that file, guess what? That Excel demo file is showing up here. You see that,
Hmm.
Charles?
Yeah.
And then if I click on it, reads what's in there. There's the name of the worksheet and the three curves I can actually directly see here. Maybe I can even open this up for a second. So I got my Excel sheet off to the side here. Here's all three curves. The worksheet is called front back one, which is showing here, and those curves are showing up in the displays. Pretty nice, huh?
Yeah. Sure.
Might happen if I come in here and I say like, yeah, I don't like some of these data values. Maybe I'll change this to 50 dB, Control C, Control V. Now I got a bunch of 50s. I'll hit save on my Excel file. And then back here, there's a nice little refresh. Shall we see what happens?
Yeah.
Oh, I think this might be a pretty good trick there, Charles.
Yeah, I would have done it the other way. I would have probably wanted some attenuation.
Oh, on the vibration? Well, maybe this is my limit line, and I could set my limit lines in Excel, and looks like I'm below the limit, so maybe I don't need attenuation.
You know what? I think that's even better. That's just a great way to make limit lines, target lines, maybe.
Yeah,
Especially when you make them higher than your data.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, we can edit the data in Excel and then see the changes here directly in Testlab. And it's important for this Excel data, all this header information tells it a lot about the data, what type of windows used, your delta F, whether it's an RMS or peak function. These all change the amplitude.
It's a lot of
Attached,
data, though. Wow.
yeah, it is a lot of information. Attached to the article that's linked through the video notes, there is actually a nice starter file in Excel here. You see this file types one.xls?
Yep.
Yeah, people can download this, and this, for any type of function, it'll act as a bit of a starter. So you can see here, it's got all the different function types across the bottom, octaves, overall levels, intensity, PSD. And all you'd have to do is come in and start editing the information. And this information is the smallest possible set of information you need in order for Testlab to recognize the data that's in Excel properly.
That's better. I like that.
Yeah, so I'd say that's a bit fewer headers, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Scroll up and
Yeah.
down here.
Yeah, we're compact on it.
I agree. Taking the data here, doing the copy values and doing it one at a time is a bit of a slow process, wouldn't you agree?
Easy, but yeah, it could be time consuming if you had to do it one at a time like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think another nice feature in Neo is in this thing called the process designer. You can either take blocks in the input basket or time histories. But let's say I got a bunch of data. Maybe I'll find a time history here that's got a few pieces of data. I'll put it in the input basket. It's supposed to calculate a spectrum in this process. So if I hit run in my active analysis, I will see a bunch of auto powers there, right?
Yep.
Wouldn't it be nice if I could get all of those into Excel right away? I mean, I can by saying report to Excel, but rather than even having to take that extra step, check this out, Charles. If I look in the method library, there's something called report to Excel. You see that?
Oh, nice.
And this, if I double click on it, I can go to the properties here and I can say, hey, let's store this data into that Excel folder that I have, demo Excel. All right. And now when I run the process, it's not only going to calculate the spectrums, but it's going to put the data into Excel for me. Let's take a look here in that directory. Do you see I got a new file there that was just created?
Yep.
Yeah, and this file actually has the same name as the throughput file that I processed. And if I double click on it,
Wow.
yeah, it's got all the data in it. And that'll
I
work
didn't
for
think you could make it
multiple
easier,
files.
but you did. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, crunching it out, that's for sure. I think another interesting thing, we were doing some single numbers, RMS, and things like that.
Yep.
There's a statistics process. And if you watch this, I think it's a neat thing about Neo. I can drop that in here between the report to Excel and the spectrum average. I can also hit auto arrange here to make it look nice. And in the statistics, I can say, hey, I want to calculate the maximum value of those spectrums. I also want, for example, the RMS value. And now, what do you think will happen when I hit run?
I think I'm gonna get an Excel report with some statistics now.
Yeah, so here's the statistics, the RMS and the maximum value. These I can also copy as table, but let's go and look here. Looks like a second file was created. I'll double click on that. It's got some header information, but then it's got the RMS and max of all those curves. Pretty good, huh?
It is pretty nice.
Yeah. But let me guess, Charles, you don't want just the RMS and max. You want the spectrum as well.
That's
You
what I
want
was gonna
everything.
bring up.
Oh,
Yeah, I want everything.
all right. You want it all. Well, if I connect spectrum average here, so that has the full spectrum in it, statistics is connected. They're both connected to Excel here. I'll hit run and let's see what happens. All right, got a brand new file. I'll double click on that. And it looks like the first page is all the spectrums. And then I got a page with all the statistics. Wow, that's pretty good,
Wow.
Charles.
Yeah, you made my dreams come true. I can have it all here in Neo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Neo and Excel, they go together like peanut butter and jelly.
What are my favorites?
Cool. Well, thanks, Charles.
Thanks, Pete.